guess just how's the back feeling?
Yeah.
Able to do the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. It's like kind of an interesting timing with obviously having a week off, and then we were one of the later games even after the Commissioner Cup, so was out of practice for a little bit and then kind of got back into it. But I'll be on like a minute's restriction tonight, and still if everything goes well with warm-ups, but I feel good, and yeah, just taking it game by game. Obviously, it's tough to come back on a back-to-back, so probably won't be available tomorrow. I won't be available tomorrow. I know people will probably be saying something about that, but solely because of just minute restriction and, you know, my progression back. But and then obviously hopeful to play in Vegas as well. That would kind of be the process. But overall, I feel good.
Hi there. What stood out to you playing with Raven this year, especially defensively?
Yeah.
What she's been able to do for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think Raven's just up for any challenge. You know, she's super coachable. She listens to everything the coaches say, and you know, it's hard to be a rookie in this league. Like, you come right off of college, and you're trying to learn a new system and play a different style, learn new teammates, and then, you know, different role coming off the bench, and maybe not being a primary ball handler or getting the minutes you want or getting the shots you want. But the thing she always does is guards, and she has active hands. She's physical. I think she's a great defender. I think she's just continuing to learn, especially like from game to game. Like, schemes change, and the way we want to guard people is just different. So I think that's probably, you know, her biggest thing continuing to go forward is just adjusting from game to game. But I think she's been great so far, and just her ability to learn and her want to learn. You know, you don't always see that. Like, people don't always want to learn and think they have all the answers, but that's not her, and she has a bright future.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Caleb, we're Sean Haylock, Sparks Broadcast. What goes into the maintenance, and rehab with the back?
Yeah, I mean, anything possible. You know, I think sometimes, like, man, the Ritz Carlton where we're staying, like, they got some soft mattresses. Like, it's kind of been brutal, but like, those are like little things people don't always think about. Like, when you're on the road for 10 days, like, you're not sleeping in your bed that you usually sleep in. So, I mean, I think I do everything possible to try to get ready to play. I hyperbaric oxygen chamber, like, I needle. We travel with massage therapists. Like, I do anything I can to make sure my body's right. And I think that's also where, like, I find a lot of confidence. Obviously, I've missed the last 2 games, but like, I know I'm doing everything that I can and that I should. And, you know, as a professional athlete, you're going to have little nicks and bumps through the road. And I think I can find a lot of confidence in, you know, my ability to maybe put that behind me and then come out and continue to build and continue to play. And I think even tonight, like, that's my main goal is, like, go out there and, like, just feel yourself again. And, you know, however minutes you play, it is what it is. Contribute to the team in those minutes. It's probably not going to be what it usually is for myself, but you know, in the time I'm out there, I can contribute to the team and then just get back into my flow a little bit.
Caitlin, you just mentioned...
We're going here. Sorry.
Hey, Caitlin. Last time you were here, we talked about how a lot of when you would drive, they would crash and they would, like, kind of collapse onto you, and then you'd find the open shooters.
Yeah.
From that point, with your injury and just kind of, like, having a little bit of time away from that, what is something that you kind of learned about attacking LA's defense this time around as opposed to last time?
Yeah, I mean, we've played them once since then, and I wasn't available either. You know, I think they're going to be heavy nail. They're going to be in the paint. I think our spray threes are going to be open. A lot of time, like, hammer screens, getting our shooters open. I think when we get the ball into the paint, like, be ready to kick it out, be ready to spray it out. Whether that's even when we hit our post on the roll, be ready to spray it weak side. But also, like, our guards need to get in position to make themselves available for that. Like, at times, even watching the film, preparing for this game from the last time we played them, we get caught kind of standing and not making ourselves available for the pass. So I think that.
First game since you got Player of the Month in June. Congrats
on
that.
Sean.
Was wondering what you're proud of in your development of your game over the last month, especially being here in LA. It feels like you had Kobe-esque fadeaway middies kind of more incorporated, maybe go on both sides more often.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really ever enjoy talking about myself too much, but I am really proud of myself for my resiliency, especially through the beginning of the year. And I don't think people always realize, like, I played 13 games last year and I didn't play basketball for 300 days. And, you know, I know I'm under a microscope always and my play is always going to be judged, and I understand that. But, you know, I feel like I'm playing the best basketball in my career. And, you know, I didn't know if I would be rusty or how it would be coming back. I know I did everything possible I could to be in the position to not only be myself but be even better. Like, I spent so much time in the gym and trying to improve on every single thing. So I think for myself, just like really proud of my resiliency and my belief in myself and my confidence, but that certainly comes from the amount of time I've put in and then all the people that have really poured into me to allow me to have that. And like I said, I feel like I'm definitely playing the best basketball I've ever played in my career so far, really my life, obviously. So just continuing to build on that, and obviously like having this little injury blip, like got to get over that and then kind of get back to the way you want to play. And at the same time, we want to be playing our best basketball going down the stretch, heading into the playoffs, so that'll be important for us as well too.
Cody in the back, and we'll wrap
Hi,
up.
Caitlin. You
Hello.
just mentioned that you don't like talking about yourself, but there's a lot of conversation always about you.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that when it comes to all that attention, but also on the positive side,
Yeah.
all the love you get from all the fans across the country? How do you juxtapose those two?
Yeah, I think like what really gets lost in our world, and obviously this is regarding me, but I think regarding a lot of things is like you go on social media and whatever, and then everybody thinks that's reality, and it's not. Like it's sad that people like live behind their phones and live behind their laptops, and don't get me wrong, like that's just part of our world and it is what it is, but it's also not a good perception of what reality is. Maybe it partly is, but it's not always the 100% truth. And I think a lot of people can get so down a rabbit hole of thinking that is the truth that it's toxic and it's damaging and it's a little concerning. And I think for myself, like I always try to remind myself, like, you know, if I go out there and play one day and nobody's showing up and there's not any little girls or any little boys like cheering for me and having, you know, hanging my jerseys over the side of the railing, like then we'll maybe have an issue. But I think for myself, like that's the perception of reality that I'm always concerned with. And, you know I'm making an impact on a lot of people, and just continue to do that and hopefully change people's lives and give them something to smile about, because I know the positive and the joy certainly outweighs the negative. And, you know, we all know like our world could use a lot of that right now, especially.
John Davis with the Southern California News Group. Caitlin, how have you and the team approached this game knowing the whole time that Kelsey Plum and Cameron Brink are not playing, and that's two of their best players offensively and defensively?
Yeah, I mean, this is still a really great team. They have great players. I think, Nneka's kind of the piece they probably lean on the most right now, but obviously Hamby's great as well. And this isn't, like, our message is always, this isn't a team you come in here and overlook. Like, that's not what this team is. They're very capable. They're looking for that one win to really get them going, to build a streak, to give them some energy, to give them some confidence. So we approach it like every other game, you respect every single opponent that you face. And I think especially in this league, like anybody can beat anybody. You've seen it across the league this year. Like, if you don't respect the person across you on the other bench, you're going to be in trouble. So.